What up? What up? What up? What up? We are live. Whistle Gang podcast in the building. Got our girl Kay from the Bay out here holding it down for the fellas that's missing out tonight. But man. How are you doing, Kay?
I'm doing great, Brad. It's good to be back on. Missed the other guys, but glad to be here. It's been a little weird season so far, but we're making strides. So it's good to be back on here with you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. It's good to be back.
Good. So, before we get started with 49er football, 'cause I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions. Yes, I'm repping my Mets tonight. We
Oh
finally
gosh.
clinched our playoff berth today. Let's go, baby. The Mets is back. We in the playoff.
Congrats to you guys.
Let's go.
So who do you guys see first? Dodgers or?
No, they get a bye. We playing
Okay.
the Brewers. We play the Brewers
Okay.
tomorrow night.
It's wild card.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, wild card. That's right.
Wild card,
Okay.
Correct. So the 49ers yesterday, huge bounce back win, put up a 30 ball, 30-13, huge defensive effort. Brock Purdy, Mason. Where you want to start? I don't know. I'm open.
I guess I would like to start with
offensive.
The defense is back. Defense is back. Okay. Once again, the defense tends to set the tone for the game. It was just good. I was really, really nervous before the game yesterday. I was talking to some people, and my first thoughts were, "What? Why?" Because we lost the last two games. That was why. And so I was just kind of, I was still kind of unsure about Sorensen and just some of the things I was seeing on the defense, especially in the secondary, and just our defensive line, to me, not getting enough pressure to the quarterback. So I was a little concerned there. So seeing what I saw yesterday, it kind of eased my nerves a little bit. I'm not really too concerned about our offense. Our offense is going to do what our offense does. But it was good to see the defense kind of coming together. And I was actually telling some people with Hargrave, when we found out he was going to be out for the season on IR, I kind of whispered, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. I don't know if that was just a one-off or what, but our line played the best I've seen them play in quite a long time. I don't know when's the last. I know it's the Patriots, but it's a game is a game, right?
No, so it was the Patriots. And if we didn't blow them out like we did yesterday, then we would have real problems. So, of course, it was Niners by $1 billion. I knew it would be. It had to be. That was the only way it could be, period. So there was zero concern on my end about anything yesterday. I was super relaxed the whole nine. When we talk about the defense, though, obviously they showed up. The defensive player of the year, Fred. Damn, I love Fred. But showed up, showed out. But did get hurt. And so we're waiting for the MRI results, which I'm sure we'll get tomorrow.
He's day-to-day.
Huh?
He's day-to-day. That's what I saw. I don't know if the MRI came back, but it said day-to-day right now. So that's what Kyle said.
Okay. About to say, I didn't see that. I know Tuesdays is the phone press conference when he announces all the injuries and stuff like that from the game and where everybody's at. So with that being said, though, the D-line did play good. 91, I can't think of his name right now, but the dude who called up for Hargrave had a huge game. He had a forced fumble, all types of stuff. So we've got more out of him in one game than we did Hargrave for 2 years so far, a year and a half, whatever it's been. So that was good news. My question, though, is you said you're not worried. Defense is back. But is the defense back?
Defense was back. Defense is back compared to the last two games. We shouldn't have been concerned with the Rams. In my opinion, I know it's division, but in my opinion, the Rams they lost. Look at what happened to them yesterday. Terrible, right? So I know you say, well, it's the Patriots, but that's what I was going into with the Rams, and as beat up as they were and on their offensive side and their defensive side. So for us to lose that game in the fashion that we did, I know we had some drop passes, but I do feel like our defense let us down. And our special teams, but we'll get to special teams in a minute because that's still a problem.
But so in terms of the defense, though, I don't know. They came into the game ranked 30th. Like I said, yesterday is 100% a get right game against the Patriots. So we did what we were supposed to do, and we didn't do that against the Rams. So obviously we have the Cardinals coming up. Another division game. They know us. We know them. Nothing's different. Nothing's going to change. We're just going to line up and play football. But like, there's still some concerns. So like, for me, the back end, even though Hufanga should be back, Mustafa from Charlotte, he misses a lot of tackles, like special teams, in the hole, all that. There's a viral clip going around on the interception, which is cool. Shows a lot of effort. Shows him taking on a big man for a block. But shit, I need him to make tackles.
He's a rookie, right? If I'm not mistaken, or did we pick? Okay, he's a rookie. So I feel like just watching him the past couple games, I feel like, he's going to get better. I feel like he's improved from the game before. He had some bad plays, but he also had some good plays, I feel, in this game. So we got to kind of continue to see, where he plays out. I mean, we don't really have much else to work with right now, but I'm not totally disappointed in him yet. I think he can improve. I see that coming.
And then I'm still concerned about the depth on the offensive line. I mean, on the defensive line, behind
for sure,
behind the guys. Like we don't really have no depth. And then the same thing with the linebacker core. Like Winters finally played yesterday. Winters looked good, made some solid plays. Campbell look good, and so I don't know. Like I'm still, the defense is Fred, and that's my side of the ball. But for some reason, it still doesn't feel right. Like we still not shutting nobody out, putting on a dominant performance, even though it's the Patriots. So that's what we're supposed to do. But I want to see it like next week against the Cardinals, and then I can say, okay, now we're back. Like now we're starting to get going. You know what I mean? That's all.
Yeah, for sure. I take it one week at a time. So our defense this week looked a lot better than it did last week. And anytime we get a defensive score, and last game we didn't even have one turnover, I don't believe, on the defensive side. So we didn't have any takeaways, which is not normal for our defense. So we're slowly getting there. I know I've heard some people say, and I kind of agree with this, like just looking at all the games all around the NFL so far in the first 4 weeks of September, it's kind of like a preseason. The first 4 games, right? I feel like, the 5th game, that's when you really start to see what teams are really about. And I feel like that's the same with the 49ers. I feel like we're going to start to hit a stride at the right time because we do have a tough schedule coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, we got a tough stretch coming up. Let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Brock Purdy airing it out.
BP.
Brock Purdy airing it out. He went deep like 3 plays in a row. Like, oh shit.
3 touchdowns in a row.
3 touchdowns in a row too. Getting called by the ref was on some BS yesterday. But
BS.
Purdy, Jordan Mason. Like, is this expected now, that type of performance? Like every week? Like, should we expect Brock Purdy 2 touchdowns, 250, Mason 100 yards plus and a touchdown? Like, should we just automatically start to expect that now?
It's expected. I mean, this is what the 49ers do. I mean, I think the Brock Purdy conversation about is he this or that needs to stop. We know who he is. This is his 3rd year. This is his 2nd full year. And from what I've seen, what I saw yesterday, and, I love any man that wants to say, hi, Mom, on national TV, in his moment of joy that made me tingle inside as a mom. I love Brock. But seriously, what I'm seeing from Brock is just his poise, his confidence. He's a facilitator. He's out there having fun, but at the same time, he looks very commanding of that offense and what he's doing. When he's scrambling, he's pointing around, here. You could tell he's fully confident in the system, and he's fully confident in whatever personnel we have out there on the offense for him. And in terms of Mason, real quick, I mean, that's our dog right there. I don't know. Are we calling him Jordan? Are we calling him JP? What is it? I'm still confused. But I know that he is averaging, I believe, 5.1 or 5.2 yards per carry. And that's kind of unheard of, like for any running back in this league nowadays. He doesn't get it the same way that Christian gets it, but he's getting it. And I think before Patrick Henry's amazing game yesterday, I think Mason was number 1 in receiving yards, and Brock is number 1 in rushing yards, and Brock is number 1 in passing yards. He still is even after that game yesterday? I know. Oh, I got to put him down some.
Pretty sure he is. Pretty sure he leads the league in Russia.
Yeah, which we knew that. How long have we been calling for Mason's name, right? So to see him finally get the time and the shine that he's getting, I'm really glad to see that. I'm kind of interested in seeing, I was talking to my brother earlier, I'm kind of jumping around, but when we get our rookie, Ricky comes in, I'm kind of excited to see what would it be like if we had, some receivers out, and then we had like Debo in the backfield, and we took Mason out. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, I just feel like Brock has really elevated. Yeah, Ricky Pearsall. I'm really, I feel like Brock's passing game is really, really elevated, and I love a lot more of the deep shots that we're taking now, and, you know, for the end zone or just those big plays. And I feel like he's having fun doing that. So I'm really excited to see where that takes us. It makes me feel a little bit more confident not having a CMC in right now, you know.
Yeah, so it's definitely dope as hell to have our quarterback drop back and go down the field like crazy. Because obviously, you know, Kyle Shanahan is a lot of slants, a lot of outs,
right,
quick hitters, and we got to drive the ball down the field. But to get Brock Purdy to drop back, boom, 30, 40, 50 yards down the field, make like, yo.
It's so exciting.
That was the reason why they drafted Trey Lance. They wanted a big arm and a little bit mobile.
Right.
And it was crazy is we getting it in Brock Purdy, big arm, and he's been mobile the last couple of games, running for first downs and stuff like that. So it's very exciting that we have a quarterback now in San Francisco, a franchise quarterback. And then he's distributing the ball. Speaking of distributing the ball, what's your opinion on all this BA stuff?
You know,
on BA, I 100% disagree. If you understand Kyle and the scheme and everything like that, it's you throw the ball to the person who's open, or he's schemed it up already to say this person gets the ball this week or such and such a forth. What's your thoughts on all this BA? Because my thing is just I'm sorry, but like people were mad. They'd be mad if he was going to leave, right? If they traded him, they were mad. Now we keep him. They're mad. Like you're mad that he got paid. What's up? What's your thoughts on BA and his season so far and all that?
I don't like the diva antics. You know, I like a quiet person. However, I do feel like, you know, him missing training camp, it did take a toll on him. I do think that he'll end up, you know, we saw a couple plays from him yesterday, a big third down catch, which is a really hard catch to make. I feel like he's just getting in football shape. And I do feel like Kyle is going to go with the offense where the offense is going and what's on the field and what he's seeing. And with, you know, Christian McCaffrey out now, you know, IU's getting more double team. Like you said, he's not as open as much. So he is going to have to probably figure out a way to get open. But I do expect as the season goes on, you know, maybe when Ricky comes back, I do feel that IU could probably, you know, pick up some strides. He's going to have to do something because I don't think the 49er fans are giving him much time. So, I mean, we're in week 5 now.
Forget the fans. I totally disagree with what you just said. Forget the fans. So
well, we're talking to the fans. So
I'm lucky enough to live next to 3 NFL players now. We were all hanging out watching the Georgia-Alabama game. But I watched all 22 with them, and sometimes they just tell me. But 2 weeks ago, BA was open. Purdy doesn't throw him the ball. Last week, BA was open. Purdy doesn't throw him the ball. And this week, we haven't watched it yet. I haven't heard from them. But I've seen, just from me looking, it was open. He was open sometimes. And like you said, he had the big catches. People forget, like in Kyle Shanahan's system, you don't have a true number one. It's just a system. And you fit within the system. And like I said, if you're open, then you get the ball. Like if you're in the progression open, then you get the ball. So like if progression 1 is open, you get the ball 2. And most people are like that, but you know, you got these hot shot number 1 receivers. They always get the ball. Plays are schemed up for them all the time. Kyle's not like that. And then he's not a diva. I think it was just a mishaps with these shorts. Like he's really a quiet kid. Like I don't know why I'm defending him so much. Like I got to defend Moody. But like I said, I just hope people who've been on.
It ain't no mishap.
Keep that same energy when he starts going off and stuff like that. The other part too about football, people forget Christian Gonzalez, who he went up against yesterday, is a top 5 corner in the league. If you saw his stats, he shut down DJ Metcalf the week before. He shut down the other receivers. He shut down Marvin Harrison. Like he shut down all the receivers that he's played. So the thing about BA is he's getting paid $30 million to catch the ball and touchdowns and blah blah blah. But he's also to take coverage away from the other guys, because now you have to double him. You have to put a safety over the top. You have to take the top corner and put on him, and now that leaves Jawan and Debo and everybody else open to do whatever they're gonna do. But eventually he's gonna get his yards, he's gonna get his catches. But that's my little thing with BA. I'm just tired of hearing about him.
Two things. let's not forget. I mean, it was the first 2 games. Ayuk dropped passes that he was wide open for. So when you do that, your quarterback may lose a little bit of faith in you. I'm not saying the faith is lost totally. We don't know what's going on in Purdy's head. But if I was a quarterback and I see Jennings open and I see Ayuk open and I see who seems to be in better shape, football shape so far this year in terms of their hands and their coordination, I'm going with Jennings. So I'm going to rock with what Brock's rocking with. I mean, maybe I'm wrong in that sense, but let's not act like drop passes don't mean nothing, especially when you're not used to seeing that. Also, if you're going to do the antics that you did and holding out for no reason, when apparently the Niners had the,
paid. What do you mean?
But when you getting paid Justin Jefferson money, then you understand what comes. He's getting close. He's one of the top 5. He's one of the top 5 receivers, though. Paid receivers. Am I wrong, Brad? Okay, he don't have to be just. But my point is when you want the big bag, a lot comes with the big bag. There's a lot of scrutiny that comes with the big bag. When you have the big bag, the pressure is on you. And so far, he hasn't handled it. And maybe that's because you missed training camp. We all know what happened with Bosa when he missed training camp. What happened when, Debo held out a little bit. He got off to a rough start. So everything that is coming to BA is warranted. When you want to play those games, when you want to have all the national headlines the entire summer, that is going to come with it. So yeah, until he starts making some plays and getting a touchdown or 2, that's just going to come with it. That's more money, more problems, more pressure. Right. So we need to see him stand up. I like BA. I'm not buying his jersey yet. I said I would buy his jersey when we signed him, but he hasn't earned it yet. As a fan, I need to see a little bit more.
Last thing on BA, and everybody who's watching, I challenge you to go look at the stats on the top 5, top 10 receivers and see where they're paid. None of them are performing right now. And I challenge you too, Kay, to go look at the stats and you'll see.
But I'm talking about BA. I don't really care about the other teams. I'm glad they're not performing. I've been looking at the positives, but we also have to, we have to call it how we see it.
Jefferson is in the top 10 of receiving that gets paid top 5, top 10.
Well, when our third receiver has more stats than our number 1, the paid receiver, that's a problem.
Let's move on. I'm done.
We all have our own opinions, Brad. It's okay.
What about that?
I don't always have to agree with you.
What about that Kittle catch?
I love Kittle. That's one of my favorite players. And I will say, and I that's my favorite tight end ever of 49ers. I'm going to go ahead and say that today. That catch was amazing. That's probably that's his best touchdown catch I've ever seen. And his second best catch besides the big one in the Dallas divisional round 2 years ago when we needed that first down to kind of seal the deal for us. Amazing. That's why I don't understand why they even gave him that
too, in 2019.
That was a good one too. We had Jimmy. Yeah, that was an amazing catch. That game was wild. I forgot about that one. Good old George. You can always call on George. You can always call on good old George Kittle. That's my guy. So I'm glad to see him back. I hope he's okay with the rib injury. I think he also said day to day before I logged in. There was a list and he was so far today. He was day to day. Yeah.
Clay's commenting and saying you're 100% right. She cleaning up on the topic, talking about BA.
But, he agree with me. Thank you, Clay.
Let's
Brad, when it comes to Moody or BA, it ain't, just Brad below.
BA stuff. But what else?
I'm just saying what a lot of 49er fans are thinking. Not all of us, but a lot of us just want to see a little bit more. We're not giving up on BA.
Trent Williams looked good yesterday, even though we had a lot of runs to the right. The ones to the left was super impactful. I think he had like the second highest PFF grade yesterday, so it seems like he's rounding back into shape. He should be good to go.
He's good to go. Let's talk about the right side. Let's talk about Purdy. I mean, he had an amazing – I think he's played 4 games, and I believe he hasn't had not one sack. He might have had a couple pressures, but not one hit or sack coming from him. So to see that from a rookie, that's amazing. I'm really, really excited to see where he's going to go, come the end of the year, what he's going to look like when we're headed into the playoffs. That's also a huge factor in the way Brock is playing and the way that Mason's able to run right now. So the John Lynch, that's a late round draft pick. And they need to do that again on the left side too for the guy next to.
Second or third round.
Second or third? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Second or third round.
Good pickup.
All right. So what about special teams? So there's two conversations in here. You brought up Ricky twice. So I've said this numerous times. if you go back to Kyle Shanahan's comments last week about Cowan, why remember Ronnie Bell dropped the ball and they asked him, well, why is Cowan not out there? Kyle Shanahan does not trust rookies. He does not play rookies. He does not want to play rookies. He treats them like college. He wants to redshirt them for whatever reason. I do not see Ricky Pearsall making any type of impact on his team this year unless somebody gets super, super hurt. He had no training camp, which is the same thing he said about Cowan. No training camp. He was still learning the offense, still getting used to Brock and blah, 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 blah. And that's the reason why Cowan is not playing. Shout out to Pete in the comments. But so I don't think Ricky Pearsall is going to make any type of impact on the team this year. But also going back to the special teams, we got to do something. So he has the rookie back there. He fumbles the ball. Who he throw back there? He throws Juice out there. Like, I need short hands. He does not give rookies second chances. He just Kyle. I don't know what's up with Kyle rookies. But what's your thoughts on the special team?
I agree with where you're coming from with Kyle. I do think that this is the year that Kyle's going to be forced to use some rookies. Okay. I feel like Kyle needs to change that stance. I love Coach Shanny. That's my coach. If you look at other teams, like for example, Kansas City, one reason they're able to do well is because one man down, next man up, rookie in. Andy Reid likes to nourish his rookies a little. You got to put them out there. You got to let them play. When we put Brown in last year when Hufanga went out, he did pretty good. And so sometimes you just
end of the year though,
but sometimes you got right. So sometimes Kyle's pushed to do that, but sometimes once rookies get in there, sometimes they're a little bit hungry. They want to show, they want to work hard. We saw that on the defensive line yesterday with some of these people we've never seen before, right? And so I feel like this might be the year where Kyle's going to be forced to actually use some rookies. I mean, we can't have Juice doing punt returns every time. I'm sorry. We can't have Debo back there. And in Gorindo, I don't know. I mean, I'm not, he's not a running back, okay? And he's fumbling, muffin punt. So
he is a running
he might
back.
have no choice. We're going to pick up somebody. What are we going to do?
I mean, you could go back and sign Cheetah. You can go sign Matt Breida back, but I mean,
I have to.
I think so. Obviously, Ronnie Bell didn't dress yesterday. I think
good.
Obviously, this you say good, but where I'm going with this is probably this week Ronnie Bell would dress and be the main punt returner, unless
we
he
don't
goes
have nobody
back to
else.
the rookie, because Ronnie Bell is a punt returner. So I don't know, but I don't mind having Juice back there. You got short hands. Just field the punt. All we want is the punt fielded, no turnovers. And then if he could pick up 2, 3, 4, 5 yards, then we're good.
Go on and take it.
We just accept the fact that we will never have a punt return. And then
what's up with Wachowski though? I mean, his punts have been terrible. Like, what's going on with him? I mean,
I don't know. Keep him off the field. Just keep the ball.
You might as well get Juice. You might as well let Juice punt the ball too. He can punt too. Let him just do everything on special teams at this point.
Right. Just let Juice do everything, but
let him do everything
except for kick the field goals. My boy Jake Moody.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna leave. I'm glad we didn't need him yesterday.
Yeah. So game balls. Who you got? You want to start on offense or you start on defense?
We could start on defense. We can be. I mean, obviously defense. I'm gonna give it to Fred Warner for obvious reasons. Impactful leader. I will give an honorable mention to Bosa. I think he had a strip fumble, right? And so it's good to see Bosa, just looking like he used to look before. And I wonder if it's because Hargrave is not there and now he has more help and everyone just seems a little bit more energized. And sometimes that's what happens when you bring people off the bench. They're motivated. Hargrave got the bag. They're motivated. They want to stay on the team. They want to make an impact to the coaches. So I'm kind of glad that we saw that on the offensive. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you go on the defensive side. So I'm going to give it to Fred Warner. So, I'm going to call him Superman Warner, because that dive and that high ass jump for the catch was amazing.
So you have to call him Defensive Player of the Year, Fred, not All Pro Fred. But yeah, mine is Fred, hands down. Fred is, like I've said numerous times, is one of the reasons why I go to the game. I just want to go see Fred play. If you got kids who want to play middle linebacker or this defense period, just have them watch Fred. Like he's all world. But Fred by far gets the game ball on defense. Who you got on offense?
Offense, like I said earlier in my little snippet, I'm gonna give it to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, again, our facilitator. When Brock does well on offense, we do well on offense. I do just hope that we do fix some of our red zone issues, which I think will come. That's another topic. An honorable mention, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Purdy because Brock had time to throw. Now, I will say one thing about Brock. You know I love my boy Brock. But sometimes when he's scrambling, I know he got all day back there now. I'm going to need him to just throw the ball away. Don't take yard loss. Don't get hit and take a 4-yard loss. You know, like, just throw the ball away, Brock. We don't get it next time around. We know you're going to find the man. You know, that's the only little critique about Brock. And then, of course, and I think also honorable mention, I'm going to give it to Jennings. I feel like Jennings is definitely also brings that energy and that spark that we need. I think he puts the secondary on the defense on its heels a little bit. It was nice to see Debo get an amazing pass for a touchdown. We haven't seen that in quite a while for Purdy to Debo for the end zone. So, yeah, that's my offensive game ball, Mr. Brock Purdy.
I'm going to give the game ball to the offensive line. You got the leading passer in the league, Brock Purdy's number 1 or number 2 in a lot of categories. Mason is 1 or 2 in a lot of the categories. They finally need to start getting some love. Even McKinvitz on the right side. I mean, just everybody's playing really well together as a unit. The O-line deserves it. So shout out to the O-line. My game ball goes to the O-line.
We got an O-line. Yay!
Yeah, O-line's playing really well right now. Playing really well
great.
Right now.
Playing great.
Yep. So this week
can't wait to see how they do against Kansas City's D-line. That's going to be the test right there. So.
So this week we got the Cardinals coming up. We'll be back Thursday night with a game preview on the Cardinals. Can't wait to kick their ass, get back on a winning streak, 2-0. But shout out to the boys. Shout out to P. P been in the comments.
Hey, P. What's up, Nard?
The crew could get back together for a preview on Thursday when we play the Cardinals. Anything else you got, Miss K?
Let me see. I think I covered pretty much everything. I want to give a shout out to my boys, Jerome Chris Jones, and David Carter. Like every day we're on the group chat, checking in. Last week I took a break, told them don't even reach out to me this week about no Niners stuff. So I'm back. I had to take my moment, but I know Brad, you said
you gotta stay with it.
No,
girl.
I'm always a 49er fan, but I do internalize my losses. So that's just something personal with me, okay?
I was on suicide watch, but
all right. You said you broke your phone, so you know. I just go quiet. But we back up, so we back up. We good.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in to this episode recap of the 49ers' huge win against the Patriots.
Oh, real fast. Brad, sorry to cut you off because I did have one more thing. The weekend went well for us. Cardinals lost, Rams lost, and I'm anticipating that Detroit wins tonight against the Seahawks, so we'll see. Okay.
Look, I'm not concerned about that division.
You need to be. We're not winning right now in the division.
We will be the NFC West champions, and we will be playing for the Super Bowl again. Thank you guys for tuning in. What's the Game podcast, man? We out. Peace.